Welcome back. We're on step 5 of the Universal Story Planner, and this step is all about energetic markers. These are points along the way as you pursue your goal where you're going to likely be challenged and that you're going to have to dig deep to commit in order to keep going and not give up. So it's great to know where these are likely to hit so that you can anticipate and prepare yourself so that you'll be able to keep going even when things feel pretty tough. So the first one is at the first quarter mark where we put that first vertical line, and that is no turning back. So this is the point where you've gone through the first quarter of the time frame that you set up in the last step, and you have all the things that you need in order to pursue your goal. You set up a schedule, you started showing up, and then you cross over into the middle where things will start to intensify, and you'll be challenged a little bit more, so that this is a point for you to be able to anticipate and also celebrate when you do cross over. Lots of people start at the beginning and they never get beyond the beginning. They talk about it, they think about it, they plan it, but they don't necessarily take the steps toward fulfillment all the way to the end. But you're going to pass through the no turning back, and you're going to keep going forward. So then the next one is the recommitment mark. This hits right smack dab in the middle of the Universal Story Planner. And that's because this is most likely where you'll want to give up. This is where you have a full understanding of what's being expected of you. Things are maybe a little bit harder than you thought. You don't have the time that you thought you might have, and you are really starting to flounder, or your commitment is starting to fade. So this is where you really need to buck up and dig deep and recommit to your goal in order to go all the way. Most people are familiar with these energetic markers, although you might not have ever thought of them in this way, but they're universal. These are points that everybody hits, and most people can push through. Although if you don't, you give up thinking, I'm not smart enough, I don't do enough, I don't deserve this, whatever you say to yourself. But this is where you recommit. Then the next point that I want you to mark on your Universal Story Planner is the dark night. So this is the highest point energetically so far through your program to get to your goal. And this is where you'll be most challenged of all. This is where things are going to really fall apart, where you're going to, whatever you're working on is destroyed, somebody sabotages you, you look at what you're doing and you find that it's just not what you thought it was going to be, and you are at a point of really where you want to give up. You have everything going against you that can go against you. This is where you really have to dig deep. The deepest point in the whole process towards your goal is the dark night. And once that hits, the energy will drop a little bit, where you have to get your energy back up. You're going to have to pull yourself together. You're going to have to figure out what you need in order to go the distance. And then you move into the final quarter of the Universal Storyline, and the energy rises very quickly, as you can see here, and things get even more intense. It doesn't mean that things are going to get easier just because you went through the dark night. In fact, they'll probably get harder. But then you meet your triumph, and that's the final energetic marker that I want you to put at the highest point in the entire Universal Story Planner. This is where you meet your goal. You want to celebrate, you shout from the highest hilltop, have a party because you have accomplished your goal. Not everybody does that. Lots of New Year's resolutions or goals just go by the wayside because there isn't a concrete plan in place. You now are putting together a concrete plan. You can anticipate where you're going to be the most challenged along the way. And what I want you to understand is that it's not just you. You may have gone through one of these energetic markers at some point and given up on yourself in the past, not realizing that we all go through them. This is universal. You're not being picked on, or there's nothing wrong with you. It's part of the process, because part of what happens with any goal or anything that you create is that you have the potential to transform and to change the way you've been or believed about yourself or acted in the past. So these energetic markers will be most benefited from your mantra, the positive statement that you created in step 3. Because at these points where the energy is rising is when you're going to have to repeat your mantra over and over and over again in order to keep you going and believing in yourself and showing up for yourself. All right, so those are the 4 energetic markers. I want you to write them on your Universal Story Planner so you can anticipate what's coming. Again, I'm having a book giveaway on Instagram. These are the books that you can choose from. If you are doing, as I am, using this top part for my novel, to rewrite my novel, as you can see, I put post-it notes up. Those are the scenes that hit right there at those energetic markers. If you want to do that for yourself, these are the books that are the best, that talk you through the process of creating a plot planner. I don't have any more workbooks to be able to give away, the Plot Whisperer workbook, but the other 2 books are just as good at talking you through step by step of what it takes to create a plot planner. If you want to do what I'm doing and use both the upper part and the lower part for this transformational potential with your mantra, then the book that you want is the Boundless Creativity. That's one of the books that I'm giving away in the book giveaway as well. Okay, next week is the last step, step 6, and then you'll be good to go. You'll be all organized and ready and have your plan in place, and all you have to do is show up every day and do the steps that we're going to create next in step 6. Good luck.